We got a big FAFO segment. Y'all, today on Capitol Hill, Homeland Security Committee hearing. They were talking about worldwide threats to the homeland. And when I talk about Trump's folk were getting their asses pimp slapped left and right, I think the Democrats were just passing baby powder down the line. And it was just like, It was a scene out of How High as they was just pimp slapping folk. Y'all, Mississippi Congressman Bennie Thompson, at Kappa, I give it to him. Y'all, he called on ICE Barbie Kristi Noem to resign, and he left Michael Glasheen, the operations director of the FBI's National Security Branch, y'all, speechless when they were talking about Antifa. Roll it.
Executive Order Domestic Terrorist Organization, Antifa. That's our primary concern right now.
All right, that's what President Trump did. What does the FBI say?
We share the same view. When you look at the data right now, you look at the domestic terrorist threat that we're facing. Right now, what I see from my position is that's the most immediate violent threat that we're facing on the domestic side.
So where is Antifa headquartered?
What we're doing right now with the organization.
Where in the United States does Antifa exist? Yeah. If it's a terrorist organization and you've identified it as number one.
We are building out the infrastructure right now.
So what does that mean? We're trying to get the information. You say Antifa is a terrorist organization. Tell us as a committee, how did you come to that? Where do they exist? How many members do they have in the United States as of right now?
Well, that's very fluid. It's ongoing for us to understand that. The same, no different than Al-Qaeda and ISIS.
No, I don't want you. I'll ask one question, sir. I just want you to tell us. If you said Antifa is the number one domestic terrorist organization operating in the United States, I just need to know where they are, how many people. I don't want a name. I don't want anything like that. Just how many people have you identified with the FBI that Antifa is made of?
Well, the investigations are active.
Sir, you wouldn't come to this committee and say something you can't prove. I know. I know you wouldn't do that. But you did.
Here's the shortened version of that clip.
Yeah, it was 12:15. Exact. If I'm not mistaken, it was.
Now you see something. Now you see now. You done fucked up. You know that, don't you?
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought.
No, so, you know what I'm saying? That you done fucked up now. You know that, don't you?
The more questions that cop asked, the more I thought I wasn't going to never see daylight again.
With Bennie Thompson, first of all, y'all, Bennie Thompson was the ultimate black daddy. He went, Every black person knows that feeling when your ass lying and your daddy go, Matter of fact, roll that again. Just roll that again. Roll Bennie again. Come on, roll Bennie again.
Executive Order Domestic Terrorist Organization, Antifa. That's our primary concern right now.
All right, that's what President Trump did. What does the FBI say?
We share the same view. When you look at the data right now, you look at the domestic terrorist threat that we're facing. Right now, what I see from my position is that's the most immediate violent threat that we're facing on the domestic side.
So where is Antifa headquartered?
What we're doing right now with the organization.
Where in the United States does Antifa
Greg Cameron and Thelma. This sounds like when the daddy said, why did your ass come home at 2 o'clock? Did I not tell you to have your ass in this house at 12:30? But you done brought your ass home at 2 o'clock. Who and what were you doing at 2 o'clock in the morning? Well, I asked your ass, who were you with and what were y'all doing that brought your ass home at 2 o'clock in the morning? I think every black person watching right now is having a childhood flashback after that questioning by Bennie Thompson. But the ass whooping ain't done. Y'all, Kristi Noem got busted in a serious lie when she said, oh no, Congressman, we've never deported any veterans. And the congressman, I think he watched this show. He said, go to my iPad. Roll it.
Madam Secretary, how many United States military veterans have you deported?
Sir, we have not deported U.S. citizens or military veterans.
I don't believe you served in the military. I haven't either. But I think you and I can agree that as Americans, we owe everything to those who have served our country in uniform, particularly those who have served in combat. Do you agree with that?
Sir, I believe that people that are in this United States that are citizens have legal status here.
Madam Secretary, we are joined on Zoom by a gentleman named Se-Jun Park. He is a United States Army
My man said, go to my iPad. Homie, what? Y'all, my damn iWatch thinking I'm having an emergency. Let me stop this. My man walked up. Roll that back. I just want y'all. He was like, roll it back a little bit, because y'all gonna see him go, we about to get in your ass. We about to get in your ass. Roll it.
I don't believe you served in the military. I haven't either. But I think you and I can agree that as Americans, we owe everything to those who have served our country in uniform, particularly those who have served in combat. Do you agree with that?
Sir, I believe that people that are in this United States that are citizens have legal status here.
Madam Secretary, we are joined on Zoom by a gentleman named Se-Jun Park. He is a United States Army combat veteran who was shot twice while serving our country in Panama in 1989. Like many veterans, he struggled with PTSD and substance abuse after his service. He was arrested in the 1990s for some minor drug offenses, nothing serious. He never hurt anyone besides himself, and he's been clean and sober for 14 years. He is a combat veteran, a Purple Heart recipient. He has sacrificed more for this country than most people ever have. Earlier this year, you deported him to Korea, a country he hasn't lived in since he was 7 years old. Will you join me in thanking Mr. Park for his service to our country?
Sir, I'm grateful for every single person that has served our country and follows our laws.
Can you please tell Mr. Park why you deported him?
Oh, freeze. Oh, my Lord. My man said, can you thank him for his service? And then she tried to go all lives matter. Keep going.
But you understand that many veterans struggle with PTSD. Many veterans struggle with substance abuse challenges. This man took 2 bullets for our country. You have broad authority, by the way, as Secretary, to issue humanitarian parole, to do deferred action. Will you commit to at least looking at Mr. Park's case to see if you can help him find a pathway back to this country that he sacrificed so much for?
I will absolutely look at his case, but I want you to remember that
Madam Secretary, the man behind you, please stand up, sir. His name is Jim Brown from Troy, Missouri. He is a Navy combat veteran who served our country in the Gulf War. He's married to a woman named Donna, who came to our country legally from Ireland when she was 11 years old. She has lived here for 48 years. Because of you, Jim's wife Donna has been in prison for the last 4 months. She did not come here illegally, and she has never committed any crime other than writing 2 bad checks totaling $80 10 years ago. She is currently in prison and facing deportation. Ms. Noem, will you thank Mr. Brown for his service to our country?
Thank you, Mr. Brown, for your service to our country.
Now, what possible explanation...
Oh, Lord. He said, he's standing behind your ass. Mr. Brown, stand up. Then her ass. Mr. Brown, thank you for your service, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, thank you for your service. Play.
Can there be for locking up his wife for 4 months when she has committed no crime other than writing a couple of bad checks for $80?
Sir, it is not my prerogative, my latitude, or my job to pick and choose which laws in this country get enforced.
You have broad discretion as the secretary. You can issue parole. You can do all kinds of things, but you're choosing not to. Will you commit again to just reviewing Donna's case and reuniting this combat veteran with his beloved wife, who also loves this country?
I will review the case.
Now, that was Virginia Congressman Robert Walkinshaw. Oh, y'all, the dog walking didn't end there, y'all. It didn't end there, okay? So another member of Congress, in fact, actually, that was Rhode Island Representative. We don't have his name. Y'all, why is his name in the script? Rhode Island Representative. Okay, so this is the Virginia Congressman Robert Walkinshaw, who had a few questions about the Proud Boys.
Mr. Glasheen,
we're going to put Rhode Island Congressman, put the name.
I'm familiar with the name, yeah, Proud Boys.
Okay. Does the FBI still designate the Proud Boys as an extremist organization? They did in 2018 in President Trump's first term.
We are in the process right now of changing our categories for domestic terrorism.
So they're no longer designated as an extremist organization. The FBI designated them an extremist organization in 2018. Has that changed?
I'm not aware that they did that.
It's all over the media, sir. It's widely reported. Can you get back to me on that?
Sure will.
All right, thank you.
How I mean, tell me, if you're going to walk your ass to a congressional hearing, and this FBI guy, according to Ken Delaney, and Ken Delaney is a national security correspondent for MS Now. I used to work with Ken in the Fort Worth Telegram. This guy supposedly is a very good agent. That's how bad you got to be when you have had an excellent track record, and you got to go make yourself look like a damn fool and lie in front of Congress because you're working under a dumbass like Pam Bondi, who's reporting to a thug, corrupt, twice impeached, criminally convicted fool like Donald Trump. That's for you, Thelma.
Listen, I have no words, but I am so proud that they walk their ass like the dogs that they portray. Because one, you want to put a organization that educates and show up to make sure people rights are protected and voices can be heard, but you don't want to acknowledge the fucking Proud Boys as if they are not part of the reason that we had January 6th. Majority of them got convicted. So are we going to not use our common sense or act like the president, who we don't know if he coming to
find out what's up because...
So my whole thing is we have individuals, if we continue with this type of checks and balances, pulling the receipts. When we pull fucking receipts and their memory gets foggy, we win every time. We got to receipt check their ass at every point. If we not showing up with the receipts to refresh their memory like we in trial, then we are failing. That's how we're going to drive it into people's memory. We want them to have this in their long-term memory, not their short-term. So you showing up and putting their ass on trial every single time, I bet they start showing up with some damn sense and stop violating constitutional rights and also being subjected to being a part of a federal indictment when this man leaves.
FBI director, former FBI director Christopher Wray, went before Congress and said point blank, Cameron, that the biggest threat in America is white domestic terrorism, and that's right-wingers who love MAGA. And Donald Trump has been trying to convince everybody it's Antifa. No, pimp, it's your side. It's your side. That's the January 6 people. That's that brother they arrested for the pipe bombs who said the 2020 election was stolen. I don't even know that story is even true. But the bottom line is the people who are committing terrorism in this country, the biggest threat are white, domestic, MAGA, GOP, right-wing terrorists.
Yeah, I think in each of those videos, you saw them fully embarrass themselves you got the Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, who couldn't even look in the face of some of these combat veterans and say like, oh yeah, I don't know if I have the latitude. I'm just going to review the case. I wish those congresspeople would have forced her and said more than just she would review the case and make sure they push that, because they'll say whatever they need to say to get out of those hearings.
In fact, Cameron, she actually said, oh, I got to leave early because I got to chair a FEMA meeting. And then a reporter said he was told the FEMA meeting was canceled.
No, they're looking for any out. They're looking for any out not to be caught on tape, because what they do realize, and even with that agent who was there, and he better hope he wasn't lying, because there's a lot of get back coming in terms of like it's a federal offense to lie to Congress, especially if you're under oath. And so I think I really hope that we keep some of these receipts. I hope that first hearing was, especially with Kristi Noem, is looked at about veterans, no matter what party you decide to vote for, to understand that they're not respecting you and they will deport you just like they will deport anybody else.
Greg, this is how shameful it was. She was like, oh, Lord. She was like, this seat is too hot for my ICE Barbie ass. Listen.
I apologize. The gentleman's time has expired. I know the secretary has to leave, and I would now recognize a gentle lady from Texas, Ms. Johnson, for 5 minutes of questions.
I'm just going to take the position that she was scared of my questions. Mr. Chairman, if we could stop the clock and wait until after all this.
The clerk will suspend.
If we could reset the time, that would be helpful.
How your ass got to leave when they tell you how much time they going to need you testifying before Congress? Nah, they were whooping that ass so bad. She's like, look, she went no mas. She was Roberto Duran. No mas, I got to go.
Doggone Kristi Noem. The ICE Barbie, as you say. It's a beautiful thing. She talking about a FEMA meeting. Didn't the governor of California travel here a few days ago looking for that money for relief from the fires? And nobody would meet with him? Doggone Kristi Noem. But the beautiful thing about it is, and she's being drugged for filth, of course, including right now, after her I gotta leave excuse. But in addition to that, it's a couple of interesting things. The right wing, I shouldn't say right wing. Let me not say that. Let me say it more accurately. The white nationalist press is dragging her for filth, floating the idea that she's about to be replaced. And so it made Salon.com yesterday or the day before, whenever. And of course, the White House denied it, which means she's probably on thin ice. Because, she's cosplayed so much. And one thing about Bozo, his mind is gone. He's clearly deteriorated in so many ways, physically, intellectually, mentally. And one thing about it, though, that he maintains a laser focus on is appearances. And so he will recast that role very quickly. Now, to the point you raised, Brother Cameron, he's absolutely right. You better not have lied to Congress, Mr. Glasheen, who was the operations director at the FBI. And as you say, Roland, he's been around for a quarter century. In fact, he was promoted during the Biden administration. He didn't lie. Why? And I went back and looked at his written remarks, for the record remarks. You can go to FBI.gov and look them up. They're called Worldwide Threats to the Homeland. Notice, if you read through his prepared remarks for the record, there is not one mention of Antifa. He got blindsided like everybody else. So he's sitting there twiddling his thumbs. We're standing up. We're moving with it now. We're setting up the process. Oh, that's true. Why? Because these fools done told you to put Antifa on the list, and you looking like, what the hell? Ex-Marine. I'm trying to follow orders, but it ain't no threat. Now let me be very clear finally about who Antifa is. My father, Haywood Carr, born 1921, Buffalo Valley, Tennessee, drafted into World War II. My father was Antifa. My Uncle Bill was Antifa. My Uncle Thomas Hayes Jr., my mother's brother was Antifa. Also, his brother Buddy. Also, his brother Doc. They were all Antifa. I have a lot of cousins who were Antifa as well, because they fought Hitler. What is fascism, you fool? Now, I'm going to tell you something. I am Antifa as well. So is everyone. I'm against fascism, my friend. And as this man is sitting there trying to come up with a label, I'm going to tell you right now what the defense cannot be. The defense cannot be, I am not Antifa. The defense is, I am Antifa, and you're a fascist.
Y'all, these folk gonna learn, and the only way you make them learn is if you vote them out of office. That's what we gotta do every single day. All right, y'all.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.